పెద్దలకు కనుల నిండుగా తారా సంస్థ నిర్వహిస్తున్న అతిపెద్ద బాలోత్సవం ఉత్తర అమెరికా చిన్నారులకు తొలిసారి వర్చువల్ వేడుక. ప్రతిభావంతులైన పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి జరుపుకునే సంబరం. పిల్లల్లోని ప్రతిభ, సృజనాత్మకతను ప్రోత్సహించడమే ప్రధాన లక్ష్యం. ఆన్లైన్ వేదికగా చిన్నారుల టాలెంట్ కు పట్టం కట్టే ఒక చక్కని అవకాశం. సంగీతం, సాహిత్యం, కవిత్వం, పాటలు ఇలా ఎన్నో పోటీలు. ఆకర్షణీయమైన బహుమతులతో ఆకట్టుకునే బాలోత్సవం. రండి, వెంటనే ఆన్లైన్ లో రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోండి. పిల్లల కోసం తానా తెరిచిన కళల ప్రపంచంలోకి అడుగు పెట్టండి. ఆన్లైన్ లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ కు ఆఖరి తేదీ అక్టోబర్ 16. బాలోత్సవ్ గ్రాండ్ ఈవెంట్ 2020 నిర్వహణ నవంబర్ 14న https://yurl.com/balotsavam2020 అనే వెబ్సైట్ లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసుకోండి. తానా బాలోత్సవం 2020. పిల్లలకు కలల పండుగ, పెద్దలకు కనుల నిండుగా. తారా సంస్థ నిర్వహిస్తున్న అతిపెద్ద బాలోత్సవం ఉత్తర అమెరికా చిన్నారులకు తొలిసారి వర్చువల్ వేడుక. ప్రతిభావంతులైన పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి జరుపుకునే సంబరం. పిల్లల్లోని ప్రతిభ, సృజనాత్మకతను ప్రోత్సహించడమే ప్రధాన లక్ష్యం. ఆన్లైన్ వేదికగా చిన్నారుల టాలెంట్ కు పట్టం కట్టే ఒక చక్కని అవకాశం. సంగీతం, సాహిత్యం, కవిత్వం, పాటలు ఇలా ఎన్నో పోటీలు. ఆకర్షణీయమైన బహుమతులతో ఆకట్టుకునే బాలోత్సవం. రండి, వెంటనే ఆన్లైన్ లో రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోండి. పిల్లల కోసం తానా తెరిచిన కళల ప్రపంచంలోకి అడుగు పెట్టండి. ఆన్లైన్ లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ కు ఆఖరి తేదీ అక్టోబర్ 16. బాలోత్సవ్ గ్రాండ్ ఈవెంట్ 2020 నిర్వహణ నవంబర్ 14న https://yurl.com/balotsavam2020 అనే వెబ్సైట్ లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసుకోండి. తానా బాలోత్సవం 2020. పిల్లలకు కలల పండుగ, పెద్దలకు కనుల నిండుగా. తారా సంస్థ నిర్వహిస్తున్న అతిపెద్ద బాలోత్సవం ఉత్తర అమెరికా చిన్నారులకు తొలిసారి వర్చువల్ వేడుక. ప్రతిభావంతులైన పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి జరుపుకునే సంబరం. పిల్లల్లోని ప్రతిభ, సృజనాత్మకతను ప్రోత్సహించడమే ప్రధాన లక్ష్యం. ఆన్లైన్ వేదికగా చిన్నారుల టాలెంట్ కు పట్టం కట్టే ఒక చక్కని అవకాశం.
Today we're going to build the Spider-Man and his robot. Let's start.
సంగీతం, సాహిత్యం, కవిత్వం, పాటలు ఇలా ఎన్నో పోటీలు. ఆకర్షణీయమైన బహుమతులతో ఆకట్టుకునే బాలోత్సవం. రండి, వెంటనే ఆన్లైన్లో రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోండి. పిల్లల కోసం తానా తెరిచిన కళల ప్రపంచంలోకి అడుగుపెట్టండి. ఆన్లైన్లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్కు ఆఖరి తేదీ అక్టోబర్ 16. బాలోత్సవ్ గ్రాండ్ ఈవెంట్ 2020 నిర్వహణ నవంబర్ 14న https://yurl.com/balotsavam2020 అనే వెబ్సైట్లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసుకోండి. తానా బాలోత్సవం 2020.
భారత్ మాతా కీ జై! భారత్ మాతా కీ జై!
పిల్లలకు కలల పండుగ, పెద్దలకు కనుల నిండుగా. తారా సంస్థ నిర్వహిస్తున్న అతిపెద్ద బాలోత్సవం. ఉత్తర అమెరికా చిన్నారులకు తొలిసారి వర్చువల్ వేడుక. ప్రతిభావంతులైన పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి జరుపుకునే సంబరం. పిల్లల్లోని ప్రతిభ, సృజనాత్మకతను ప్రోత్సహించడమే ప్రధాన లక్ష్యం. ఆన్లైన్ వేదికగా చిన్నారుల టాలెంట్ కు పట్టం కట్టే ఒక చక్కని అవకాశం.
Today we're going to build the Spider-Man and his robot. Let's start.
సంగీతం, సాహిత్యం, కవిత్వం, పాటలు ఇలా ఎన్నో పోటీలు. ఆకర్షణీయమైన బహుమతులతో ఆకట్టుకునే బాలోత్సవం. రండి, వెంటనే ఆన్లైన్లో రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోండి. పిల్లల కోసం తానా తెరిచిన కళల ప్రపంచంలోకి అడుగుపెట్టండి. ఆన్లైన్లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్కు ఆఖరి తేదీ అక్టోబర్ 16. బాలోత్సవ్ గ్రాండ్ ఈవెంట్ 2020 నిర్వహణ నవంబర్ 14న https://yurl.com/balotsavam2020 అనే వెబ్సైట్లో రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసుకోండి. తానా బాలోత్సవం 2020.
భారత్ మాతా కీ జై! భారత్ మాతా కీ జై!
పిల్లలకు కలల పండుగ, పెద్దలకు కనుల నిండుగా. తారా సంస్థ నిర్వహిస్తున్న అతిపెద్ద బాలోత్సవం. ఉత్తర అమెరికా చిన్నారులకు తొలిసారి వర్చువల్ వేడుక.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Krishna, and you're welcome to today's Spotlight. Today's Spotlight is on California's 17th Congressional District. This is being represented by Rokhanna, and the population of 17th Congressional District is over 700,000. The race division is whites 50.4% and male is 49.6%. The race is 48.9% are Asians and 36.1% white and 2.6% black, 19.2% Hispanic. Unemployment rate is 8.9% and median household income is 92,000. High school graduate rate is 90% and college graduation rate is 50%. From this Congressional District 17, Ritesh Tandon from the Republican Party. He is contending against the two times congressional member Rokhanna. Welcome, Ritesh ji. How are you?
Namaskar, Krishna ji. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for inviting me in this Mana TV, and namaskar to all the audience of Mana TV.
Okay, why don't you just give a little bit of introduction to our audiences from your side so that they will know more about you.
Thank you so much. So about myself, I came here 22 years ago. I came here for my MS and MBA at Santa Clara University. First thing what I started when I landed here is started working for Shankara Eye Foundation, where my first hospital was Shankara Guntur Hospital. And then last 22 years, I'm doing the community work with Shankara. And then in between, I joined as a president for UPMA, Uttar Pradesh Mandal of America, where we are running the daycare centers. My whole goal is, before I go there, last 22 years, I'm also working for Silicon Valley and also working for Latino community right here. My grandparents, they were the freedom fighter. I can tell you, like my life, I get most of joy when I serve someone, serve people, serve community. And this is what I am here right now. I have two beautiful children, my wife. I live with my mother here in the Silicon Valley for last 22 years.
Thank you for the introduction, Ritesh ji. What made you to run for Congress? And then what made you to run the two from Republican Party? The general thing people given to believe is that Indian is equal to Democratic Party. So tell us about that.
This is a very, very good question, I can tell you. So when I look into when I was looking into, first of all, I was not a politician. I was very happy with what I was doing, helping the communities, building the eye hospitals and working with the non-profit. But at the same time, when I started seeing in the Silicon Valley, the things have started going left. When I look into my opponent, Rokhanna, what he did is he not only bash our Indian community. Basically, first of all, the Rokhanna, he said reject Hindutva. He went against NRC, CAA, and against Article 370. He joined the Pakistan caucus, and he favors more Imran Khan than our Modi ji. Understandable. At the same time, he started coming to our community. For example, race-based discrimination. We can talk a little bit more about that. 600,000 Indian families still waiting for the green card. Nobody has done anything. I can tell you is neither Democrats nor the Republican. And our voice was completely lost. When we look into the Silicon Valley, most of our Asian American, they work on the high-tech companies. And my opponent, he wants to move the jobs out of the Silicon Valley for his own personal interests. Also, when we look into the Democrats, they are going far left. You look into the San Francisco, Minnesota, Seattle, everyone has passed the law against the India's CAA, and they are bashing India left and right. And still we continue to vote and continue to support Democrats. So this is where actually, when I started looking into all the angles, I myself was independent and favoring more Democrats earlier, but then I thought, no, it's not fair. They are working and they are just using us, and it is a time to change. And that's how actually I end up going through the Republican Party.
A little bit more extension of the question, Ritesh ji, is generally Indians are very, very conservative at home, like their family, their kids' education, like that. But why they don't align themselves to Republican Party, which talks more about conservatism, but they would rather go for communism, which back in their home country, they wouldn't even support that.
Exactly. I can tell you, Krishna ji, that very good job is done by the leftist media. When we look into Indian culture and everything, by birth, we are Republican. But when we land here, we have the assumption in our mind that Democrats, they are more friendly. They are more friendly to immigration. They are more friendly to jobs. They are more friendly to our Indians and everyone. But actually, it is not true. If they are more friendly, then why is 600,000 Indian families still waiting for the green card? And the Democrats has the Senate as well as the House both. They might have fixed that thing, but they have not done it. When we look into the jobs and everything, Democrats always want to increase more and more taxes. And you know why they want to increase taxes? So that they can fund their socialist agenda and fund the people who are undocumented illegal. Now today I feel very sad when I see our Asian American and as well as the Americans, they are working hard, and at the same time, what we are doing it, we are paying for the people who are undocumented. Instead of that, the same thing can be applied to the schools to make the schools better. Because I can tell you, Krishnaji, in my district, 5 of the schools in Cupertino, they are planning to close for just for $5 million. And in fact, I can tell you, many things we might have done it right to prevent those kind of things and work. So in short, Krishnaji, Democrats, they look from the top something, and they are from inside, they are something else. They are against India as well. When we look into the Joe Biden, he stopped many nuclear deal in the past with India, and India did suffer a long time. They are aligning more with the other side of Pakistan, and they have the more control. Then they have more favoritism towards India. Whereas when we look into the Republican Party is standing next to India when any aggression happens or happening right now from the China or other countries. The Republican Party did not spoke single word when the NRC CAA and Article 370 was implemented by the Indian government, because it is voted in the parliament by the people who selected that government. So there is no reason for anyone to make a noise. It is an internal Indian matter. But Kamala Harris to Joe Biden to Ro Khanna, everyone has bashed our country and our people. And this is where actually I feel that people, they need to wake up. And Krishnaji, one more statement I want to give against the Prop 16, because many people, they don't understand. Prop 16, it is a race-based discrimination bill. And based on your race, you will get the admission in the public UCs, in the public jobs or public contract. Let me tell you what it is.
That was interesting, actually. I have seen your agenda, and then I want to discuss more about that. Before that, I would like to ask you many questions. I'll come a little bit towards the end of it, because I want you to explain about that, because I myself got confused after reading so many things about that and then California law. Coming back to, you said that Roe is trying to move the jobs out of California to somewhere else.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that? Like, I have another question basing on your answer.
Yeah. So basically, he wants to create another Silicon Valley outside somewhere, Texas. The Roe himself was not born here in the Silicon Valley. He's coming from Pennsylvania. He wants to move the things to his region and his place from where he's coming from. And this is where the sad part is, when he started looking into, okay, we need to build the internet and this and that on the other region. My simple question is, when we look into the outskirts of the Bay Area, we drive 1 hour or 2 hours from the Bay Area. Everything is like a Midwest only. Those people are not working or they don't have the very high-tech job. Why we cannot grow the California itself when we have so many other places and where the people are suffering and we are paying them as a compensation or taking care of them other ways? Why we cannot grow our California? And this is where actually I have the challenge.
In spite of the fact, I have seen that the pattern of donations being received by Democrats versus the Republicans. I'm actually surprised to see Google's and then Microsoft's and then all the big names, whatever you call.
Ro Khanna, he has raised $3.2 million.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yes,
and
exactly.
And I have raised about close to 100,000. So the reason is the people, those who work in those companies, they donate. And actually the companies themselves, they don't donate, but the people, those who are, they donate. But when we look into the summary part, since they are part of the Google, and basically that's how it show up, like Google's, like this much donation came in. Many people, those who are here in the Bay Area, they are very hardcore Democrat. But I'm very happy to see that patterns are changing. When we see the homelessness issue, the out of top 5 cities in the United States, 4 are right here. When we see the highest taxes right here in the California, and even with the taxes, we have $54 billion budget deficit. So now people have started realizing, and that's the reason why actually I'm getting more funding at the ground level. But at the same time, the venture capitalists and some rich Indian VCs, they are funding my opponent big time because there is a give and take model. When you look into the COVID aid which came out from the President Trump, startup were not part of it. But then Ro Khanna and Nancy Pelosi influenced the Mnuchin to add the startup into part of the CARE program. And this is where the startup got a lot of PPP money, and they have no harm in giving 5,800 as a couple to my opponent. So this is how exactly go and take model. But at the same time, the small businesses, because before this I was with talking with some small businesses, actually people, where yesterday about one person died and 8 people got injured because they were trying to survive by opening the restaurant, and one car ran into the place because they were serving outside. So small businesses are suffering, and no one have taken good care of them, I can tell you. And this is where actually the give and take model, this is a very sad part of California. Is same thing happened with the teacher union. Teacher unions fund a lot of Democrats, and the reason is, even though the teacher, they don't teach in the class, or they become little bit easy, nobody count them or nobody make them accountable. This is where Krishna ji, I hope that the people will wake up and people can investigate by themselves why someone will give $3.2 million without any personal interest. You tell me. And this happened in last 6 to 8 months. It's not so like, and if you count it the whole history, then somebody has donated overall is more than $14 million. Why anybody donates a dollar unless there is a personal interest involved there? Yeah.
Okay. I understand that because we have an interview tomorrow with John Cummings, who is running opposite to AOC, and the same case with him. Google's and Microsoft, they are giving a lot of donations. But coming back to, you were giving working families a break and then repealing of SAT. So can you explain to us how you are going to do that, Ritesh ji?
So
I know that California is very, very, very expensive place. I think we have had a business and we got to close it down because of the maintenance is very, very expensive.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Ritesh ji. Ritesh ji?
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice, maybe you may want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's fine. Go ahead.
It's years.
Hello. Ritesh ji?
Krishna ji, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can hear you. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So your question was, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened here, but
about giving a break to small families, medium income families.
so 18,000 companies, they have moved out from the Silicon Valley because of the high taxes, high regulation, high government intervention and everything. And this is where actually big challenge come into picture, where the companies, they are not paying the way the cost of living is increasing. So my first proposal was salt tax. No doubt the salt tax, state and local tax deduction. I see that 10K deduction limit, which is imposed by the President Trump from the federal government side, I think is not right. And this is where I'm going to fight, and I'm going to work internally to remove that salt tax so that the families, they can take the tax break, because average house value here in the Silicon Valley is about $1.2 million. And then salt tax deduction limit 10K, which is like one size fit all model, which is applied by the federal government right across the California and other states. It's not fair. We need to treat the California differently. When we pay the higher taxes, we should also deduct the higher taxes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I also want to create the low housing income, low housing,
Low income housing.
yeah, low cost housing right here in the Bay Area, because right now the house cost is so high. People, those who are in Silicon Valley, they are making money like 250, 300, but there are people actually in the valley, those average income is what you said, 93,000. They are really struggling and really, I can say suffering. And this is where actually, again, I want to stand for them. And then there are many Asian also. It's not only like Americans, but many Asian as well.
Mhm.
So whole thing is, at the same time, this is the Silicon Valley. I want to bring the Silicon Valley to the next level. For example, today when we look into the next new technologies like artificial intelligence, data computing, advanced medicine, all those things we need to build here, and in the outskirts we need to have our manufacturing right here instead of what we are doing. So that will create the solid structure in the Silicon Valley, and help everyone to grow.
Okay. Your Governor Newsom and then Trump, do you think they're able to help people open the economy safely, or do you see any problems? I think you have been mentioning about some small businesses are suffering because of not open properly.
Krishnaji, I can tell you, since last 30 years, this California is a democratic state controlled by the Democrats. All these people, they are waiting till election November 3rd. After November 3rd, everything will become open, because right now they have put the ban that they cannot do this. So many restrictions are there that all the small companies, small businesses, everyone is suffering. In fact, the President Trump likes to open up with the reasonable steps. For example, increase the testing and the contact tracing. Also, like elderly people, those who are very vulnerable, they can stay at home. But those who are young, they can go back to work with maintaining some social distancing. Similarly, the restaurants, they can open up the space for the takeout, as well as plan out some limited number of people, like 40%, 50%. Today, Gavin Newsom is not doing that.
Mhm.
Gavin Newsom is trying to control and make this economy so crunch and closed that I don't know what is there in the mind, but Krishnaji, it's very sad to see that the people who earn every day and live every day, like Latino community and many other communities, they are suffering big time. Because I work with them, I know they don't have the food on the table for their children, and this is where actually a non-profit are helping. But it's very sad to see. And the rich people, they are becoming more and more rich, because this government, they keep on giving the money for the contracts and other thing. And those who are poor, they are becoming more and more poor. And those who are in the service class, those poor people, they are surviving because they can work from home. And those who cannot work from home, they are actually again living in the fear, because these people, they have done a lot more. And when you look into the Santa Clara County and my county, the cases are not that high what they are assuming, but we can open it reasonably with some steps.
Mhm. I have seen that you are preferring more on like the school choice for the kids. Can you throw a little bit light on how this is being done, and then maybe you can bring in the what is the law that Rokanna is again pushing back, that is Prop 16.
Yeah, I can tell you that part. This is very good question, because all our Asian Americans, we focus more on studies, and anything what we have seen back in India, the quota system, this is what he's going to bring. So let me talk about the law part, and then I will add it to the school, like how we can fix it. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm,
So what happened? The Prop 16. Prop 16 is open race-based discrimination. When the
mhm,
Prop 16 comes on the bill, it talks very fairly like it is meant for the people of color, this and that. But technically, it is not meant for the people of color.
mhm,
Today, when we look into the UC and state colleges, Asian Americans are 40% in UC and state colleges. When I say Asian Americans, this includes Chinese, Vietnamese, Filipino, Indians, everyone. There are, with the Prop 16, what these people are trying to do, that our population in the California, Asian American population in California is only 15%. They want it as per the racial quota, the UC admission need to be given. Same thing applied to the public job, same thing applied to the public contract. So once the race factor will be accounted, then we Asian, actually their admission rate will drop from 40% to as low as 15%. First year it will come down to 34, then 29, then 22. The number will keep on going down. And at the same time, this is not fair, because what happens is the children, those who are really working hard every day, and they see their parents, they are working hard. So these children, they may not be able to get into the UC and state college because of the race-based thing. And the children, those who are not qualified, but because of the race factor which is in the admission process, they can go and sit. So what is going to happen is 15% from the Asian committee, let's say those who are able to make it, but the other people, those who are behind, they are behind the education, they will also make it because of the race quota, the quality of education will go down. And this is exactly actually the race-based quota system.
Is it?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask you. Is it more or like something that we have in India?
Of course, yeah, very similar to India, and this is what they are trying to do. Instead of fixing the K to 12 education system, they are trying to do it this way. And I can tell you, Krishnji, they tell us people that okay, Latinos and Black, they are suffering, but the Latino admission rate in UC is 36%, whereas Asian Americans are right now, the number came out was close to 35 to 36, 35, I can say, but the Black Africans are close to 5%. Now, the population of Black African in the California is only 6%, whereas for Latinos is 38% in the California.
Yeah, so it's matching more or like.
Yeah, it's matching. So there is no need for this kind of quota system, what they are trying to create by stating the name of Latinos and the Black. At the same time, actually, they are downgrading the education system. They are not allowing the people to live American dream. Tomorrow, what will happen if the Latino go up to the 40%? Let them go, let them work hard. You know, every children deserve those who work hard. Those who don't work hard, we need to work with the children. I can tell you, no children is bad. If the right equipments and treatment and everything given to the children, they can work hard and they can be there at the place.
Yeah, precisely. Given instead of doing this, possibly they have to give the same facilities to everybody, and then probably whatever Trump is talking about, the school choice will definitely make a difference.
Exactly. And this is where exactly I promote like school choices. So what will happen with the school choices? Now the school will compete with each other. Today, what is happening, Krishnaji, I can tell you fact. The teachers, they are very pro-democratic. What they do, they have the union. They teach or they don't teach. They are fully protected. They are getting all their benefit and everything. They are not counted on the responsibilities or anything. I can tell you, not all teachers are bad. Some teachers, I love it, the way they do the things and everything. But my thinking is teachers, education, and politicians, they need to be disconnected. They need to work and do the right thing for our children. You know, Krishnaji, we are not even in top 10 in the world in the education for the education of children. So this is like superpower country. And the children, our children, those who will be coming out, they will not be competitive in the world. Children from the other countries, they will completely take over. And once they start taking over, we will start going down. And once we start going down, I can tell you that thing we will not notice when we'll come at the bottom. So this is where actually I like every children from the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, they should have the seed of artificial intelligence and all the latest technology which is coming up. When they are in the college, they should start doing some kind of internship with the company in the 3rd year or 4th year. So what will happen? They know exactly what they have to do. And the companies will start feeding to the college what they need in coming 2 years, 3 years. Today, Krishnaji, all those are disconnect. Companies don't tell them. And by the time the children, they graduate, they come out from the college, they look for the job for 6 months to 9 months. Why? Instead of that, if the college tell this, if the companies tell the college that, okay, this is my requirement in the coming months, or coming years, this is our plan, this is our vision, then they start training the children. And they can also give some internship where children can pay their tuition fees, and the companies can also give training to the children, and they can absorb once they come out. So it's win-win from both the side. So giving the college choices will increase the more competition between the children, between the schools, and every school will go after the children. And that's how actually giving the school choices will definitely increase the quality of education. And at the same time, is some parents, those who are not living in the very good area, but they want to, but their kids are bright, then they should be given an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, that's actually nice. And then basically federal grants can be given to depending on who supports school
Exactly.
choice. And
Exactly.
then yeah, I like one of your placard about immigration. One
Right.
size fits all immigrant policy? No, hardly fair. So I like it so much. Okay, tell us our people, especially the Indian community who are looking for green cards. I know you have mentioned earlier also about this. What are you going to do if elected in the Congress to the cause of a lot of people who haven't gotten the green cards yet because of some policies which are not so very well?
First thing I can tell you, Krishnaji, I'm coming from India. I have seen, I have suffered. I understand the pain of our brothers and sisters, those who are suffering because of this green card thing. Whereas my opponent, he was born here, he don't understand. And that's the reason why nobody raised a voice for them. They just play the game that will remove the country quota, this and that. Nothing else. This is just politics. So let me tell you what exactly is discrimination, which is happening with we Indian for a long time, but nobody has noticed. When I came here in this country 22 years ago, my green card was filed after my education. Then the person who was coming from the UK at the same time, he got the green card in about 6 months to 8 months. And whereas I waited for almost 12 to 14 years for the green card. Now, please tell me, I'm doing the same work, I'm paying the same taxes, I'm raising the same way my family here, he was doing his family, and I'm buying the American product, I'm helping the American company, everything is same. Then why you need to discriminate with me because I am Indian? Why? So policy from the day one for the green card was wrong. Technically, any H1B or any worker who is coming here to help America to grow and to become the superpower, they should not be treated under the country quota.
So you're in line with whatever Trump is proposing to remove the country-based quota,
Exactly.
Hiteshi?
Exactly. Think of it like how these Democrats, they have controlled the whole thing when they have made the policy to make we Asians suffer. And I can tell you, Krishnji, I accepted it because I thought this is the way it is. But technically, when you look,
Why, in spite of the problem is known to everybody, why these big tech companies still support, or the people in big tech companies support only Democrats, and then definitely they know that Republicans, if they have the House as well as the Senate, they are going to make the difference in the lives of people who are working for them for the last so many 10 years, 15 years, and so on. Why would they not help the people like this? What you are proposing?
one thing I can tell you, when the person is working under the H1B, working for the company, they they are stuck there for 10 to 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. And at the same time, it's beneficial for the company because they don't increase their salary, and they let them work, and they let them take and all the benefit. They abuse them. They don't give them proper raise. I have seen like how this happened, and this is the reason why the companies in the Silicon Valley, when the Trump, he raised the H1B salaries just now. He said that if you really want the specialized person, then pay them the right amount. Krishnaji, I remember that when I was doing my MS in the Santa Clara University, I saw that there was another apartment next to me. There was 12 body shoppers, 12 people working for the body shopper, and they were paid $35,000 to $40,000. And in fact, they were suffering. Even sometimes they had to use the restroom. They used to knock our door to let us allow because we are like 12 people in 2-bedroom apartment. So when the Trump came in, he fixed a part that if you really need to hire the H1B, then pay them the minimum wage of what is prevailing in the market. And this is how from 40,000, the life of the people were improved. And he recently again raised the salaries for the H1B.
Yeah, that is actually concern to a lot of
And
small companies
and
who
to
are
be
doing
frank,
this kind of, yeah, go
and
ahead.
to be frank, like these companies, they are making millions of dollars from these people. They are actually, think of it, if I came here, my family is back in India, my mother, father, the old mother, father is there. I want to support them. I want to support my family. I want to bring them here. I want to settle them. I want to live with my children, everyone. Why I am not given the proper right? And this is where actually, Krishnaji, I'm going to make a difference, because I understand each and everything, from the labor to the I-485 process to everything, what they do and how the family suffer. I want to make it very easy. There need not to be any rules and regulation that if once your 485 is filed, then you cannot travel to India and this and that. This is all BS. Who the heck care about this thing? Once your 485 is filed, then we need to just worry about the person is working for the company and he's doing the job and he should be given green card. And also, Krishnaji, one thing is, surely for the H1B, I'm going to work very hard that they should not be counted under the country quota. Second thing is, H1B, automatically we need to have the program after 3 years or 6 years, they should be automatically given the green card, because they have already proven
Oh,
this.
okay.
And
Fine.
then,
Let's go to maybe. So basically, you would like to help the Asian community who is looking for green card for a long time.
yeah, any American who are suffering, I can tell you, for the long time. And I know that injustice is done, and injustice is done by these Democrats only, and the Republican also did not act. So now we will change this thing. And this is where our fight comes into picture, Krishnaji. I'm not a politician. I'm coming from the non-profit background. And in non-profit background, we talk straight. We don't have any back-end agenda. Yeah.
Let us come to your alignment towards environment policy.
Okay.
Trump once said global warming is hoax. And then there is Green New Deal, which is on extreme the other side of protecting the environment. So where do you stand in between?
So I can tell you, first thing is, climate issue is real. It's not so like this thing, but we have to solve this thing. We have to solve it in such a way with our common sense, not what like Green Deal, where you have to retrofit thousands of buildings and this and that. All the businesses will disappear. We need to encourage the innovative solution for solar, nuclear, and other technologies. And then we need to be 100% self-sufficient on the clean energy. Same way on the worldwide also, we need to help the people by sharing our technologies so they can shut down their coal-based plant and the other plant creating a lot of CO2s. We have to give more incentive for electric cars, solar power, and also like more incentive for like converting your grass into the less water space consuming stuff. So all those things need to be done. If we don't do it today, then we will not leave this earth for our children to live. And today the CO2, and you see the weather warming and all those things, it is happening. It is happening. And this can be done with the proper solution, which have more incentives for the solar technology. We need to continue more incentive for the Tesla based cars. What we have, no doubt, we have stopped giving the incentives, and now we are giving incentive to the foreign cars. Actually, we are selling the electric cars here. In fact, we should continue, and we should not differentiate here.
So more or like, I think Trump also came in your way. He recently told that, okay, we have to do things in a balanced way, not the other extreme. That's what he recently told about the environment.
Exactly.
Anyway, there's a welcoming change from Trump. Okay. One of the biggest problems that none of the politicians are worried about, I think you have kept in as one of your agendas, but I wonder how you can help the problem of homelessness in California. We see only in Fox network, not in CNN network. CNN doesn't show that there is a housing problem in California, the San Francisco Bay Area, and not, I don't think Bay Area, but Los Angeles. But tell me, is it real, the housing problem as we see in some networks? Is it real in San Francisco?
Krishnaji, first thing I want to tell you, the CNN and all those media, they don't show the fact. And this is where actually we need to discuss, and we need to, what we see, what we hear, that what we have to speak. so that we can create the awareness and we can fix this. So when we look into the homelessness issue, this is biggest in the California. Out of top 5 cities in the United States, 4 are right here, and San Francisco and all those things are worst. So Krishnaji, uh, billions of dollars is spent by the government here, and billions come from the federal government also. But how this Sacramento work is, they make the money in all those process. I can give you one example. $550 million the federal government gave to the California under the CARE Act, that you need to spend on the homelessness and the people who are impacted with the COVID, and have the unit for them. Spend the money on those people. Instead of that, what the California government did is they passed a bill called AB 83, and under that bill, they have used that money and bought the buildings of the rich people, which is Fairfield Hotel, which is right now in the Milpitas area. One of the example I'm giving you, and then converted those building to the homeless center. Now you tell us first thing. Federal government has given the money for the temporary shelter. They bought the home and they bought the permanent. Now they bought it very expensive, $30 million for 220 families. Now they bought it right in the heart of the city where the families are living there. So what will happen? These homeless people, they are not going to sit in the room all the time. So they will be down, there will be drugs, there will be mental people down and moving in the gardens nearby. This really risks the life of the common people. Instead of that, what I might have done there for the homeless people, I might have created the centers which is slightly outskirt of the city. Because when you give the centers and living to the people right in the heart of the city, they are anyhow not going to work. They are not going to earn anything. Instead of that, they know that they are right in the center. They can move around, shop around, and create all the nuisance across and spread the drugs and everything. Instead of that, if we create the proper center where there is a mental treatment facility, where there is a training facility, where we can train them on the particular job skills, where there is a medical facility which can help us to make them drug free. There is a facilities which can help them to come back to the real life.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate. Is it something like in India the governments give free housing? Is this the same way, Ritesh ji, or is it only a temporary accommodation for these people? When once COVID is gone, they'll go out of those houses.
Actually, the problem is the Fairfield Hotel they bought 200 families. It will be the permanent house for them.
Oh, okay.
And once you have the permanent, Krishnaji, these people, they are given drugs. They take the drugs, and then mentally ill. Many things are there. It's risking the life of the people, and that's the reason why actually we need to create the proper center. This is what my plan is. I can tell you in 1 minute, 30 seconds, Krishnaji. Put them in the proper place like those centers. Feed them via the non-profit model. Part of the non-profit, it will cost you less. Then bring the people who can train them, and there are hundreds of people who are ready to volunteer to help them, these people to come back in their life. And then third thing is give the incentives to the company to hire them, and they can actually give them blue collar job if not any other, and then let them come back to their life. So if once they are ready, they can move from the centers, come to the city, rent the apartment once they have the job, and they can start living.
I understand that, but did anybody try to understand why people are becoming homeless? In the first place, do they know why they are becoming homeless? So they are trying to solve the problem when they become homeless, temporarily or whatever. That's fine.
People are becoming homeless because of the surrounding conditions. I can tell you, they don't want to become by their own, and the surrounding conditions are such that they lose the job. They don't have the money to pay their mortgages, cars. Many of them they get mentally retarded because of all this COVID which is happening, and they start taking drugs. And once they start taking drugs, they go completely downfall on their life. Many people losing the jobs. They are not recovering from their 8.5 million people unemployed right now in the California, and this governor has shut down the economy still and not doing anything much for the people, I can tell you. So only way to solve this problem is we need to slowly bring our economy back. Those people who are impacted, put them in the center and train them and bring them back to the life.
You have a lot of great people in San Francisco or California, Northern California, like Nancy and then Kamala Harris. Didn't they ever try to address the problem?
So I can tell you, let me tell you the district of Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco. It is one of the worst district and it is in one of the top 5 cities in the United States for the homelessness. And instead of solving the problem, what she did is she opened the drug center where those people can come in and push the needle in their body. She has put the shower right on the doors, on the road actually, where these people can come and take a shower. And they are actually literally sitting outside the shops where the business owner people are suffering, outside the apartment where the people are scared to come out. Please see some video when you research on the YouTube. Nancy.
Yeah, I see. But as people were given to understand that everything is fair and fine there, but that's why I'm asking you.
Kamala Harris, look into the Oakland, is one of the worst area on the homeless part and also one of the worst cities. These people have done nothing, to be frank. These people are seasoned politicians.
Mm-hmm.
They only work when you give them, okay, I'll give you this much contribution, help me to get this done. Then they will be very motivated. They will not be motivated to see and work for the people. This is my clear opinion when I see, and this is where we need to bring the people who are actually focusing more on the people instead of the career, how they are going to grow in politics and one day become senator, then one day they become this and then vice president and this thing. It's completely useless. You are there in the government, you need to help people. That's what the mindset you need to go in. And you should not be helping or any builders or anyone, because this is one of the biggest issue is these people who are very rich, they are influencing this Congress and all those people to work in their favor instead of helping the community. And this is again not fair.
Okay, fine. Then the lawlessness, violence, and then rioting, and then sanctuary cities. I would like to have your opinion on those things, Ritesh.
I can tell you, for the BLM and for all the rights, everything is open. Everything is closed when there is a small businesses or temples or everything. So when we talk about California, this government want to defund the police, which is completely unfair. These are the people who put their life first and try to save you. And all these blue people, I can say I highly respect them. My plan is to give them more sensitivity training and ask them not to use arm if the person is unarmed on the other side. There is no reason to use the gun. And even if they have to use the gun, then put the gun down towards the leg side so that the person don't die or anything. So first of all, no use of gun actually. If opponent party is not threatening to you or opponent party is not carrying any gun. Second thing is when we talk about sorry, Krishnaji, what was the other question? One is the lawlessness.
Sanctuary cities, lawlessness, rioting, violence.
I can tell you, 4 million undocumented workers are right here in the California. 4 million is nothing less. And on top of it,
is extending insurance.
Yeah, and all these people, those who are here, is fully funded by government. There is no money for the government to pay for the teachers or seniors or anyone those who are suffering, but these people are distributing money to the undocumented. To add to that part, my opponent actually, he has a plan, Rokhanna has a plan to give 11 million undocumented person citizenship path, but 600,000 Indian families who came here based on merit, there is no plan for that. And to add it further, now how they protect us, my opponent Rokhanna, he co-sponsored the bill which is called as HR 5383. Please again, HR 5383 bill. What it does is it allows the undocumented criminals to stay in the country even though they do any serious crime. So just yesterday and day before yesterday, 2 incidents happened with the Indian family where their gold bangles and gold chain was robbed. And I was very scared to see the video when the small lady was carrying her 6-year-old child, and it was in the trolley. It's very sad to see all those things. And those people, they are doing nothing. And you know that what another rule they brought up for these people? If you steal the things which is 950 and less, is fine. We will not come after you.
Wow.
You can go ahead and steal it.
Mhm.
So
Is that true?
if this is true, this is
Okay.
true. Up to $950, you need not to worry about it. And and this is where actually one of the bill is there, which we need to repeal this. But look at it, what they are trying to make California. They are making this California from golden state to the garbage state, I can tell you.
Why are they so obsessed about helping, let's say, not yet citizens at the cost of citizens, and then?
So, sir, even though they are not citizen, I don't know if how much voting is happening. I have no clue because I have not seen till I see the proof. I will not speak by myself. But one thing I can say that all these people are their future voters, and they have to protect it, irrespective of the taxpayers, those who are paying the money. You know that some other rule. My so many friends as well as many seniors who are dependent on the rental income, these people, they say that up to the January, even if they don't pay the rent, you cannot do anything. So those people, even those who pay the rent, who can pay the rent, they're living free till January. And after January, they still have the 2 more months till March. And now the people, they have started taking literally advantage that they are not paying any rent. Those who know the rules, and many Latinos, they are the agencies who teach them the rules. Until next year, they are living, and nobody can touch or damage their credit history or anything, and they are living free there. So these are the kind of rules what we have in California. I understand that we need to help them, but at the same time, the old couple who just are my neighbors and they are living on based on the rental income, they are completely toast. They don't know what to do. So now you are helping the undocumented or person who can pay the rent but is not paying because of your weird rule, and at the same time the legal or the American who pay all your taxes, he's suffering. Some of the house, I can tell you, this happened with one of my Indian friend. He told me, Ritesh, I'm not able to take out the person who by fraud took over my house, and I cannot evict them because there are the rules in Santa Clara County and Alameda County that we cannot evict the person till January. Now he's stuck, his house is gone, and they can trash whatever they can do the things. Now look at the rules, what they are creating. And if the people, they don't wake up here, already in the companies, Krishna ji, some of my friends who are in very senior position, they already started telling me that they are getting the clear instruction to hire the people who are non-Asian. That means that after the school, after coming our children, after going after our children, then they are already going with the Prop 16 with the private public sector jobs and the public contracts. Now they will come to the private sector job, and this is where the biggest issue is going to come, because we Asian, we have learned only technology. We cannot build a house, or we cannot build the cars, or we cannot do the labor work. And I can tell you, this is going to be very sad as we are going. And I hope that people will wake up. They should wake up for their children. And if we don't stop it now, it will be too late then.
Do you think because of this government expenditure or irrational expenditure of government, and it's unable to really help the cause, and the prices are increasing and then throwing people out of homes, and then homelessness is coming, and again, why you think that this kind of problems are occurring only in California a lot?
So first thing is, here the government and all those things, they have completely mismanaged. For example, if you look into sometime the teacher's salary, those who do the admin work, their salary is $250,000 to $300,000. There is no reason for that such a high salary. Second thing is, when we look into our California, there are 800,000 jobs which are created here in last 10 years, but at the same time, only 60,000 housing units were added. When we added only 60,000, and there is no comparison, there is no planning. In fact, they should have started planning about the city on the suburb side, where they can have companies, they can have shopping centers, they can have schools, everything in the 3-mile radius. And so that the person need not to spend hours and hours on the road, they can go to the work and then spend time with the family and children. They did not plan this thing. Third thing is the rules, regulations for the permit, regulations, they're so high that things did not move. Even I was thinking, okay, let me add one granny unit and I can have one family living next to my house. As soon as I started looking into the process, I said, you know what, I'm not going to do it, period. So things are very complex. And this is the whole reason why, even though we pay the highest taxes in the United States on the high end side for the California, we have $54 billion budget deficit, which is expected as we go out. And you can see this government had done nothing. And somebody told me in the Stanford, there are 34 coaches for teaching the people, but those 34 coaches, you know how much their salaries are? 250 to 350,000. I was reading to the salaries of some of the government officials in San Francisco, 350.
I understand why Bernie Sanders and then this Democrat guys come and then see California to see what would happen if the laws and other things are left to air.
So all this
Bernie Sanders and all, they say, oh, rich is becoming rich, poor is becoming poor. This is a perfect example where California is.
Exactly.
Okay, why don't they repair the California first?
They will not, because if they start repairing, then those people are their voters, and those voters will kick them out.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes, Ritesh ji. We are completing our segment, 2 minutes. Please tell our viewers and then your voters in District 17 and then other people of your party why they should elect you, your people first, and then why they should elect your party, the other people.
First thing I want to tell you is, coming from the non-profit background, the reason I joined the race is I want to work for the people, work for the community. I see our people are suffering. I see that how my opponent, who's a Pakistan caucus member who bashed India, I want to see such people where entire Democratic Congress, they are bashing our country. They need to understand what is our positioning is about India. That's one of the work which I'm going to do. Second work is for our community, our people, our children right here in the Bay Area. I will not have any Prop 16 type of bills. I will bring the more industries. I will save my innovation. I will bring more technology to the colleges and the schools, and I'll help them to grow and become the fine person. In fact, if you look into my records in the past, what I have done, I can change the things, I can fix the things, and I can take any challenge. So that's the whole reason why I like to request you to vote for me this coming November. Regarding the Republican Party, if you look into it, they are very business oriented. They want to keep the low taxes, less regulation, so you can be very innovative. You can do what is best for the country, what is best for the people. And also the Republican Party is against the Prop 16. They don't want any race base. They want the fair competition between the children. And those who are behind, we should give them the good education, and we should work with them. So this is how actually they are putting the America first, American people first, and you should consider voting, and not some leftists where they are bringing 11 million undocumented people, creating the sanctuary city. They're making California worst. I can tell you worst. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ritesh, for your time. Thank you, viewers. Tomorrow we'll come with another interview. Thank you.
Krishna ji, one last thing I want to tell you. Yeah. This is a Mahabharat, and you are real Krishna. You have organized this thing for me. I want to thank you so much.
So nice of you. Yeah. So nice of you.
Continue to work. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I wish you all the best.
If
you win, give your first interview to me.
Of course, yes. It will. I will always be with you and standing with you, and anyone who's supporting me or not.
ప్రతిభావంతులైన పిల్లలందరూ కలిసి జరుపుకునే సంబరం. పిల్లల్లోని ప్రతిభ, సృజనాత్మకతను ప్రోత్సహించడమే ప్రధాన లక్ష్యం. ఆన్లైన్ వేదికగా చిన్నారుల టాలెంట్ కు పట్టం కట్టే ఒక చక్కని అవకాశం.
Today we're going to build the Spider-Man and his robot. Let's start.
సంగీతం, సాహిత్యం, కవిత్వం, పాటలు ఇలా ఎన్నో పోటీలు.